Cancer. This is Lunatic's Tarot, and this reading is for anyone who resonates with the Cancerian energy during the month of June 2018. Specifically, the reading will be centered around the summer solstice, which is tomorrow now. I'm recording on June 20th. So we'll look at the solstice and then the following week to see us through June. And I wouldn't be surprised if it's about some of the beginning of June as well. I'm not going to take this, so I'll show you. Temperance popped up. I'm also interested in Mars going into retrograde during this last week of June, and the full moon in Capricorn, of course, on the 28th. So I think the reading should talk to us about those energies, those days as well. Oh, and anyone who resonates, any Cancerian, anyone who identifies with the Cancerian energy means obviously ascendants, moons, sun signs. If your Venus is in Cancer, or your North Node, or your Midheaven, anyone who identifies at this time with that energy. I also wouldn't be surprised if this takes us into July as well, Cancer. Okay. So we've got the first 5 cards out. You've got the Three of Wands, the Page of Wands, the 7 of Pentacles, no, the 9 of Pentacles in reverse, the 9 of Cups in reverse, and the 10 of Pentacles in reverse. So this will be like a Celtic cross spread. My version of one anyway, which I've realized is slightly different. I know there are many, but just laid out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like that for us both to see, and then I will flip it around for you. I just need it facing me to get started. I'll face it towards you before I do clarifiers. This is the Deviant Moon Tarot, and the clarifiers we'll get from the Radiant Rider-Waite. So it seems, Cancer, that you are invested in something and waiting to see how it grows. I could be speaking to some Cancerian mothers, to some expecting mothers, literally. But I think it's likely that I'm speaking to more Cancerians who are working on a project that they feel that way about. They're invested in it. It is a part of them. A part of them is in the project. And as you can see in the Three of Wands upright, and then Cancer, we're crossed with the Page of Wands. So this is perhaps a message, maybe a youthful female, maybe a message from a youthful female. Could be an inspired project. It's enthusiasm in some form. it can indicate someone having or inspiring an awakening of sorts. So you have something going on that you're very passionate about, with wands covering you and then wands crossing you in the upright. You're invested in it, you're passionate and enthusiastic about it. It really could be an expecting mother who's expecting a girl, a youthful female. And then what you know when your ego is quiet, what's in your crowning thoughts, is the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. So, I think it may be when your ego is quiet, you know that you are taking something for granted, or some things in your life for granted. Sometimes the Nine of Pentacles in the reverse can speak of an affair of sorts as well. So we'll see how the rest of the reading and the clarifiers unfold before we solidify that guess at all. But it could also be that you are aware of some sort of infidelity when your ego is quiet. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's your own or your partner's. It could be, you know, just someone close to you. Sorry, I had an incense issue. Things were falling. Let's see. Okay. So then in the root of the situation, it has something to do with and then the root of the situation has something to do perhaps with settling, something to do with lacking self-love. And in the recent past, this message is for Cancers who in the recent past have experienced some sense of instability in a necessary resource in their life. So I could be speaking about finances directly, maybe. But then those Cancers in the near future, it looks like, are experiencing the sun, clarity, true happiness, realizing their own greatness, accomplishing great things, the pride that comes along with that. And you know, with the Ten of Pentacles here in the recent past, the Ten of Pentacles in reverse in the recent past, it's not necessarily, well, it is probably unstable resources, but it's not necessarily that it was a great loss. It could have been, but it also could just represent feeling like your finances are unstable, feeling like you have to stay home, maybe not socialize because of that, feeling poor in some sense, but really this energy is just blocked. So here in the near future, you see that turning this Ten of Pentacles upright was really just around the corner. Or you stop taking for granted all that you already have, and in that you realize your own greatness. Maybe you're already doing what it is that you love to do that will eventually make you lots of money, and that in that lies the true wealth, right? And maybe you've just been taking that for granted, and you come to see that in the near future. And then you have the Two of Wands in your inner world, so you're ready to make plans regarding this project, this whatever you're feeling enthusiastic and passionate about. That really brings me back to the message of to new mothers, possibly, because in your inner world, in your mind and in your heart, you're making plans. You're ready to make plans, as expecting parents are wont to do. You have to prepare for baby, right? That's where I'd rather have this. And Temperance as the other major arcana card showing up for us. In your exterior world, unless there is a significant Sagittarius that immediately comes to mind when I say that, then otherwise, we're talking about adapting, possibly adapting in the form of forgiveness, exercising moderation in some way, balancing emotional versus practical. So I keep hearing new mother messages now. And if it's not, I'm sure this message is for many Cancerians who are not expecting mothers, but the project, the passion, the love, the subject matter that the reading is focused on then is just like that to you. The work you're doing, I don't know what it is. The work you're doing, whatever's occupying your mind, your heart, and your time, sorry, more continued incense issues. But whatever is occupying your mind, your heart, and your time, yeah, it's like that. It's like a baby. It's like something that you are birthing into this world. It feels like that to you. That much of you, it means that much to you, and that much of you is invested in it. Wow, okay, so With the hopes and fears card, hopes and or fears showing up as the Emperor, I see, I can't stop seeing it now. I really do. I see I see an expecting mother. And the Three of Wands does not always mean that for me, and I don't have any personal experience with what I'm talking about with being a mother, with giving birth in that literal sense. But I've been reading with the Deviant Moon Tarot for a couple of months. It's always really honest with me. But right now I see an expecting mother, possibly expecting a girl, possibly just working with a female doctor who has a youthful sort of spirit, who's been worried about the finances regarding taking care of the child, perhaps, or just providing for them both during and afterwards, etc. Who really just needs to look around and see all the support that they already have and believe in themselves and show self-love to themselves in that sense, in that way, by believing in their ability to come up with what they need. And in the near future, the true happiness is the birth itself. Just elation that I can't describe because, as I said, I don't have any personal experience with it, but I feel like I can touch it right now talking about it. It's overwhelming joy and happiness. And then those are the plans that the mother is making in her, or expecting parent is making in his or her heart and mind, about, obviously, plans for baby. And then with the Emperor card showing up in hopes or fears, that's the father. She's either afraid of the father stepping in where he's not wanted, or hoping that he will when she expects that he might not. Maybe both. She wants him around, but she's afraid of his presence, either his influence or power and control. And that's why this message is about, don't take for granted the resources that you have, the support, the family, the friends, the knowledge, the experience, and give yourself some credit, show yourself some self-love in the way of believing in your ability to handle this, to come up with the financial resources, to ask for help from the right people when it's needed. And if it's not a mother expecting, and that's why too that I see temperance in the external world. Possibly what's required is this balance of emotions, of your emotional versus your practical, because you feel like you're meant to be with this person, this father, this co-creator of the project that you're giving life to, that we're talking about. Maybe the relationship is the baby. Maybe it is a work or creative project that the two of you are artistically or collaboratively engaging in together, alongside a partnership, a romantic partnership, or a potential romantic partnership. But with the Queen of Swords showing up and then the King of Swords showing up, I feel like there are definitely Cancers out there expecting mothers, hoping that the masculine side of the equation decides to be more of a part, of the situation. And definitely Cancers out there that, like I said, feel like they, you know, they belong with this person who's missing from this picture right now. And it's not necessarily a choice. Maybe they're, maybe we're talking about someone who's away for work of some kind. You know, it's not necessarily that it's their choice. I am ready to let you see this facing you. But so yeah, again, if it's not an actual birth, then it's a project or a work of art that is being birthed, and I feel being co-created between these two energies here, between this masculine and feminine air energy. So perhaps it is something, a creation of the mind, right? Because you are Cancer, you are water, and this partnership is showing up as the King and Queen of Swords. So perhaps we are talking about a mental creation, an idea the two of you had. Again, the baby could be the relationship itself, sure. So, you know, if you've stuck around this long for the message and aren't knowingly expecting a child, please don't be scared that you need to rearrange your future plans because of this or anything. It could just be the idea that the two of you had in mind for a future family. The idea the two of you had in mind for a long-lasting, loving, happy relationship even. So I'm going to, I think I'm ready for clarifiers. I think I told you we're using the Radiant Rider Weight, and okay. Sorry, just wanted to check on how far along we were. So yeah, with the Queen of Swords in your outcome, we'll get a clarifier on that first since I'm talking about it. And there's the Three of Wands again. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, there it is. So there's the Three of Wands again. And here's the Ten of Pentacles again. So I will reiterate. I do think that this Ten of Pentacles, though it showed up in your past in the reverse, is just about a fear of lack. It's just about failing to take into account all of the resources that are available to you already, all of the know-how, all of your own power and savvy that is already available for you to show gratitude for. I think it's just the fact that you're not quite there yet. You just haven't completely realized the Ten of Pentacles in the upright. Because here it's showing up again upright. Just surfacing anyway. So yeah, I think the Queen of Swords in the outcome is this clarity that we already saw with the Sun here that you have. In your near future, this project or this baby of yours comes to fruition, is birthed into the world, and the realization of this helps you realize, and here's the Page of Wands again, only this time in the reverse. So as this project is realized by others, is birthed into the world, this baby of yours again, you realize your own greatness. You realize, you know, your own capability. You start to show gratitude for that, show yourself self-love for that. That's how you flip this this Ten of Pentacles around, and that clarity, seeing yourself more clearly, seeing the project or the baby, seeing this thing realized in the world more clearly, puts you in a space of being ready for anyone to come toward you and for you to assess their truth. If it's this emperor you're waiting on, if it's the co-creator of this thing or person that you're waiting on, your man or your masculine counterpart, not that couldn't be a female who's in her masculine energy, but your counterpart, you are not going to be confused about what the truth is. And I think that they are going to be honest with you. Whomever you're waiting on to show up or to get a message from or to assess in some way, I think they are going to be honest. And I think that with you showing up in the upright as the Queen of Swords, you're going to be able to see the truth either way, whether they are or aren't. And it's not necessarily that you're waiting to assess a masculine counterpart, but I see the Emperor. Wow. And then as I'm saying that, the Emperor card just fell out of the deck. So yeah, I do think it's the masculine counterpart. It's either that you've created some kind of baby together. You've either created some work of art or some business that you've put out into the world together, or it's an actual baby. It's a family. And it can be a relationship, a soulmate, etc. relationship, divine relationship, that however you want to phrase it, that's so significant and important for yourselves and others that relationship itself is the baby that we're talking about. But for whatever reason, it needs to be spoken about in this particular form. Let's get a clarifier on the Three of Wands itself. The Death card. So I think it's a birth, and the clarifier says, is it a rebirth? So is it your second child with this person for some people? This also is Scorpio. Is it a child that you're expecting during Scorpio season? I think that's November. Or with a Scorpio partner. Or it's the rebirth of something that you at one point in time you thought was gone or had to be revamped in order to be brought into the world, a business that failed once, an artistic project that had to be scrapped once, etc. Let's get a clarifier on the Nine of Coins in reverse. There was the King of Swords again that just flipped up. I'm not sure if you could see that from where you were. The King of Swords just flipped up again. I think this is the most, duplicates that I've seen in a long time, Cancer. And even in readings for myself and for personal readings and friends and family members, just in general, I don't think I mean, I'm giggling about it. I don't think I've seen this many duplicates in a while. The Nine of Coins, I may have said Swords, I didn't mean to. The Nine of Coins in reverse. And we've got the Tower. So more Scorpio energy. So I don't know what else to say about this or how else to say it, so I'll just say it. If it is a Scorpio partner who has co-created this business or this baby, etc., with you, And that Scorpio's energy is making you, Cancer, feel less than for some reason. If that's the Emperor we're waiting on to assess, and even if they feel like a divine partner, if their energy, if their possibly immature energy is making you feel less than for some reason, like you can't handle this situation or this business, this project on your own if need be, that you can't manifest the finances or resources you need on your own, fuck that. Ignore that. That's the energy. Like I said, I don't know how else to say it, but if that's the case, that's one message I see here. Shove that away. Let's begin escaping that. But otherwise, the Scorpio is not. It's just that Scorpio's energy is showing up twice here. That said, often the Death card energy and the Tower card energy need to show in a reading together, and don't have anything to do with Scorpio necessarily, particularly other than the fact that it shares that energy, of course. So I see, otherwise though, I see that, oftentimes the Tower, weeks, months, years even later, ends up being a good thing. And I see things possibly falling apart in order to create a more stable home. And so whether or not it had to do with this Scorpio or whomever this partner was that may have helped create this project, or again, this baby of yours, things necessarily needed to fall apart so that something more stable could be built, but just in the aftermath of things falling apart, that's why you feel a little unsure of your ability to stand on your own, in your own independence. Yeah, you just need to be really independent right now and rely on yourself, and anyone questions their ability to do that after a Tower moment, after everything falls apart. Maybe if it is an actual baby, it could have been the moment of finding out that you were pregnant. That is the Tower moment. And made you say, oh, holy hell, am I ready to take that on, to stand alone in that? Am I that powerful? Let's clarify the Ten of Pentacles in reverse as well. And I think with the Four of Wands popping up here for us as well, I think what we need to see is that even if if what you're afraid of is there not being an Emperor around, or having to cut your Emperor if it's the wrong Emperor, or again, like I said, maybe not even them not being around because they don't want to be, but them not being around because of work or something, or location differences, and they can't be. I think like what we need to talk about or understand or see here is that you and that child or those children or whatever family it is that you have around can absolutely be a stable, Four of Wands, comfortable, happy home, a grounded, happy, comfortable family and supportive environment and healthy, wholesome environment, regardless of what unavoidable circumstances surround this birth of sorts. So there's the Queen of Wands as a clarifier on the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. Could have been a fire female who potentially came between you and your emperor, came between you and your counterpart, the co-creator of this project, of this thing you are bringing to life. And I want you to notice the difference. I want to note the difference between the two Three of Wands. So here's the Three of Wands that's representing you, and here's the Three of Wands that's clarifying you in the outcome. So where you'll be by that full moon, by the end of the month. Here at the solstice, you are focused on how much of you is invested here, worried about what is going to happen, how is this going to turn out, am I doing everything I need to be, can I do anything to help this along? And by the end of the month, by the outcome of this situation, you are looking onward. Your decisions, your tough decisions have been made using this Queen of Swords clarity here. And you are looking toward the next step, the next decision. You feel established. You feel confident. Not that you don't already, but you're still stewing about how you can continue to influence this. What's going to happen? What's going to happen? You're feeling more confident by the end. This is a Three of Wands picture that's, again, like I said, it feels established. It feels like I've made the first step or decision in this, and in a series of decisions that will need to be made about this this thing you're bringing to life, this project that will have a life of its own, whether it's an actual person or not, will grow in unexpected ways and require your attention to unexpected extents. And either you will provide it a stable home, or vice versa, or both. See how this child is sort of bringing this picture into being, wishing for it. The Nine of Cups in reverse also reminds me to say, let yourself have what you want. If you feel like you have a dream that's dying, how can you let yourself have what you want? You can't make anyone want anything in particular. And you can't, you can't control all of your circumstances. And you can't, determine certain factors, control certain elements of your environment. No, not all of them. But in what ways can you let yourself have what you want? Look at this fiery female who's popping up as the clarifier on the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. almost as if to say, you know, if you feel some instability in your resources, your financial world perhaps, etc., do something about it. She's fiery. She's a fiery, intense temperament, passionate way of life, a passionate outlook, demeanor. She's beautiful and vital and can apply all of those things to getting what she wants in life. And she lives somewhere in us all. we can access that energy. And also with the Emperor showing and the Emperor showing and the Queen of Wands and all of the Wands energy and the Sun energy, you know, it is relevant that, and I am a very amateur astrologer, but it is relevant that Mars goes into retrograde this last week of June. And in Aquarius, too. And in Aquarius. I heard it could be a rough week for some of us, but that's just, you know, so vague because, well, again, I'm an amateur astrologer too, but it's also just so vague because everybody's birth chart is different, so we shall see, right? I'm asking now for an advice card for you from the Dreams of Gaia Tarot. Choice. Okay. Options, opportunity, manifestation, free will, self-determination, reward and consequence. Secrets are definitely coming out with the Tower, the Sun, and the High Priestess in reverse. Secrets are definitely coming out, and you are able to see the truth. Let's see. Let's see what Choice has to say about it. Ask yourself, have I been conditioned to believe and behave in a particular manner? It's a great question. If you exercise your right to allow others to decide for you, this is your choice. Oops, we lost one. Let me see. Are you choosing in order to make someone else happy or to make yourself happy? And here's the Scorpio. Nothing against Scorpios. I see Scorpio energy, 2 Scorpio energies, 2 Emperor energies, the 2 energies of the King and Queen of Swords. I don't know. What will your choice bring into your life? Have you considered the potential consequences or only the potential rewards? Have you taken the time to weigh your options and to take into account the potential impacts of your decision and the reality that a choice cannot be unmade? Your choices have the power to open and close doors, build bridges, and burn them. Determine your direction, look to the potential consequences and rewards, and consider the impact your choices may have. Decide whether those choices are worth the cost and whether they will bring forth a future that is in harmony with your intentions and desires. Yours, Cancer. And that's the same thing I would say to anyone, any sign, in any reading, to any querent. I just keep trying to drop the Scorpio card. Please, please do look for places in your life that you may have a choice that you don't see. If there's anywhere that you feel stuck, how do you actually have a choice instead of not, rather than not? Whether it's in regards to your finances, a relationship, a potential actual birth of a business, etc. So, that said, Cancers, I really hope that you are leaving this reading with something that you didn't come to it with. I hope that it provided you with something. And if you need a personal reading from me, all of your options are right below this video in its description. You can use the links that I have there. I've listed, I think there are 4 of them. There's a $20 option and then all the way up to a $90 option. So you can use those links to go directly to making a payment for your reading, straight to the PayPal link if you want to get your reading as soon as possible. Or you can email me first at lunartixtarot@gmail.com. I'm happy to send you the link myself. You can just email me instead first, or you can email me in addition to, so that you can give me astrological information, specifics, questions, whatever you'd like to cover prior to the reading. You can even give me your own spreads, specific spreads you'd prefer rather than a Celtic cross. I'll do a relationship reading, one centered around life purpose, one centered around love, whatever it is that you're looking for. I'm really digging that sort of free, open format so far with clients that I found on YouTube. I don't really even think of them as clients, but that's the word. And I think it deters more people than it attracts, but I really like that sort of style of just discussing what it is you want, and you just pay based on the length that you want. Anyway, so yeah, you'll definitely hear back from me within 48 hours, and I can get you the reading within 72 hours of payment for sure. So if you're more interested, though, in my next general reading, I will definitely post a reading for each sign for July just as soon as I can. And that spread will probably be like this one for the whole month, unless I hear from people that they want something different. And I'd love to post more often than that. I'd love to post a couple monthlies, new moon readings, full moon readings. Bear with me, I'm getting there. It's a matter of time. So yeah, please like, share, and subscribe this video. Subscribe if you like this video. And let me know how it resonated. If you want to comment as well, I'd love to hear how it resonated more specifically. And yeah, otherwise, I am sending you so much love, Cancer. Thank you so much for checking out the channel and the reading. I really appreciate it, and I can't wait to do another video for you.